What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about Bloodborne coming to the PS5 and PC. The rumors that we've heard about it so far sounds very, very exciting. Sounds very, very possible. So we're going to go over what a lot of actually different people are kind of jumping on other people talking about this game. So we're going to talk about all the different people saying these things in this video. Really, really quickly, though, just before I get started, I want to promote my second channel. I'm going to leave a link for it in the description below. If you guys want to check it out, subscribe there and mean a lot to me. It basically doubles up on the content I cover here on Podcast Now. More videos on games, movies, videos talking about games before they release, after they release, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys like the content here, more content over there, okay? So this popped up 2 days ago, around Thursday midday, and I actually had seen it on Twitter and was kind of staying away from it just because I thought that it was kind of like fake stuff going on. I didn't know who the person, which we're going to talk about, it's Sloth Mom, okay? That's the Twitter user. And I had never seen this person before do leaks, do rumors, but obviously I believe it's like a Twitch streamer or a person that does heavily into Twitch, so I've never seen this person before, and she came out and she tweeted, "I have a lot of faith in the company who's doing the port. You won't be disappointed. It is genuinely happening," because she came out and said, like, hey, Bloodborne is coming to PC, confirmed. Like, she is 1000% on board with the people she's talking with, that it is happening. So again, like, I saw that and I was like, wow, that's different, right? But then, and so again, like, that was, okay, that's one thing. But then we had Wario64, who, in my opinion, again, just basically by who I follow, I have followed him for a very, very long time. He's I think he's one of the top trusted sources. Okay, if he says something, he's normally always right on it. He said you can play Bloodborne on PC with PS Now, or wait a little longer. So he kind of jumped on board with the PC thing, right? That was obviously something that he, obviously, whatever he's hearing leads him to believe it is also coming to PC. So now we start to get, okay, well, now I think this is pretty darn real. And then we had Imran Khan, I really hope I'm saying that right, I doubt I am, though, from the Kind of Funny podcast, and he says, not going to comment specifically on Bloodborne on PC rumors, but suffice to say, From Software fans probably have a lot of reasons to be happy in the next 2 years. So may take a little bit of time from what you can kind of read into what he's saying, but it seems to be coming. And then finally, going back to Sloth Mom, a claim that a PS5 version of Bloodborne was due to be announced during, at that time, Sony's now canceled games event. And again, here's what she said. I can confirm that it's not just a PC port of Bloodborne. What was supposed to be revealed today was a Bloodborne remastered that was coming to PS5 and PC. I don't know of any release date as of yet. So remember, this happened on Thursday, so that was supposed to be the PS5 event. Okay, that was supposed to be when they announced the PS5. So that is a lot. That's, I mean, really snowballed. I mean, it really started as literally nothing. And this, let me tell you, well, firstly, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, even if you've never heard of these people before and you don't believe anything that other people tell you, it makes a lot of sense that you would want to get a game like Bloodborne onto more consoles, or more places, right? We've seen Horizon that's now going to do it. We've seen Death Stranding that's now going to do it. So we're seeing these games that are willing, that, okay, I mean, they've ran their life cycle on PlayStation. Everybody that's going to have bought them has already done it. And so now let's see if we can get it on some new places. And for me, a thing that's exciting for that too is, what can that lead to? For Horizon, really, I think the strategy is get it into PC gamers' hands to then introduce them to Horizon 2, which is only available on PS5, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. That kind of gets some people that maybe wouldn't have got it, because there's a lot of people on PC that will never get consoles, that maybe will but don't right now, that have never played Horizon, that have never played Death Stranding, that have never played Bloodborne. There's a lot of them. And so to introduce them to a game like this, I think, is a really, really good idea. And besides that, I mean, Bloodborne's been out for so long, at this point, longer than Horizon and Death Stranding, right? So at this point, literally everybody that's bought Bloodborne is going to have already bought it. Why not give it to more people? And then secondly, again, these people seem very, very trusted, okay? The guy from the Kind of Funny podcast, I've seen his name around there before. He seems to always be up on things. Obviously, that Wario, he's very, very good. I think when he says something, I personally believe him, so he's got my trust. So really, once he said it, I was like, okay, now I believe it. Just, again, basically based off of the people that I've seen before on Twitter, or even on any social media, and that I trust. And again, it makes a lot of sense. The PS5 thing, I guess, again, also makes sense. It's a game that has long been on PS4, and when you look ahead to the PS5, you're not gonna have that game again. I feel like that that's kind of the reason. Now, is it the greatest reason? Not exactly. I feel like a lot of people are going to say, like, why would you do this? Why wouldn't you just do a Bloodborne 2? And the answer is, I believe Sony's been wanting that for a long time. It's From Software that they can't get to do it. From Software has been pretty non-committed to doing that, okay? They've talked a lot about, really, they don't make sequels. Besides the Dark Souls games, they don't make a lot of sequels, right? In fact, they've gone from Sekiro, they've done a lot of different things, now obviously working on Elden Ring, so they seem to have a lot of other stuff in there. I have seen reports and interviews from the people that have worked on Bloodborne saying, like, it's not impossible, like, we could eventually go back to it, just not yet. And so maybe if you're Sony, you're thinking, all right, well, and also, again, you could think of this in a couple different ways. From Sony, you could be thinking, all right, the game sold insanely well on PS4, insanely well. It is one of the better PS4 exclusives, okay? Obviously, the people in the Souls franchise, now obviously Sekiro and all that, like, they love it, okay? That was part of it. And in fact, some people think Bloodborne is the best of it, okay? And again, we haven't had a game like that in a very long time, really, since Bloodborne. The games are pretty darn unique. Obviously, they borrow some elements from each other, but we haven't had that game in a while. Now going into PS5, again, you don't have that game. And when you go into PS5, we've talked about it. Yes, backwards compatibility is a thing, and you obviously look at games maybe that came out in 2020, even maybe 2019, to look for games that, do you do a remaster? Do you do a Game of the Year edition? Some sort of bundling thing, and have a PS5 version. I've said, obviously, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, those two are, like, I think, obviously locks to be on PS5 in literally a PS5 version, not just backwards compatibility. You'll be able to do that, but also, okay, on launch day or sometime in November or December, you can get these games. It's for the PS5. It's taking advantage of some of the features of the PlayStation 5. Maybe The Last of Us comes bundled with the multiplayer, all things like that. That is what I think is easily going to happen with those games. You go back, maybe Death Stranding would be another game you look at, but then even past that, I don't really know what other games would make sense. Spider-Man 2 is coming out. Again, Horizon 2 is coming out. God of War 2 is coming out. So maybe you don't remaster or put those games on PS5. You just allow people to do backwards compatibility. But I never really thought about games that came before then. There were a lot of early PlayStation exclusives, obviously, or PS4 exclusives. Some of them, in fact, most of them, weren't even all that good, that probably wouldn't make that leap. You wouldn't actually want to put focus on it. Like, you wouldn't want the Order 1886 PS5 version. You wouldn't want Infamous Second Son PS5 version. You wouldn't want Killzone Shadowfall. You know what I mean? But Bloodborne is one. Bloodborne is from that earlier, the first couple of years of PlayStation, or PS4, I should say, right? That I think would work really, really well. And then the final thing is, one thing that I always look at with these things, it's not a remake, it's a remaster, but remasters and remakes, I always talk about the pulse test, right? It's a good test to see if people still want it. So when looking at, okay, I get it. I get the want for Bloodborne 2. I want a Bloodborne 2. I bought Bloodborne day one. I played that game. I didn't play a lot of it. I really suck at those games, but I really did enjoy my time with it. I think of all the games, because again, I'm no good at any of them. Demon Souls, I've played actually every single one. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. I played all of them, not all the way through. In fact, none of them I've actually beaten. But I would actually say Bloodborne I enjoyed the most. So even somebody that's not that big of a fan or just plainly not that good, I really liked it, right? So again, it makes a lot of sense. And when you have that coming out again, you have the opportunity to say, okay, well, do people still want it? And maybe you could pitch that to From Software saying, hey, like, look, we're the first game, the base game sold insane, and now obviously, look, we're doing the remaster, and that's doing incredible too. And so, can we please get moving on a Bloodborne 2? Again, I think the plan probably for Sony was always to get a Bloodborne 2, that they really want more of them. But if From Software doesn't do it, those games are very specific. It's not like an Uncharted, where Uncharted could probably work in a different studio, right? Because you have the building blocks, you know how to do it, but maybe it's not necessarily tied to Naughty Dog. In fact, the switch from Amy Hennig to Neil Druckmann, even the people that made Lost Legacy, which weren't the same people that made Uncharted 4, like, you have all that. They obviously different studios or different people can handle it, right? For Bloodborne, I think because it's, again, those Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro kind of game, because it's that, I think From Software probably is the only studio you'd feel comfortable making a brand new one. Now, again, remastering 10, 15 years down the line remaking, right? Those kind of things I think a lot of different studios could handle. But in terms of building a brand new game, you can really only have From Software. And if they don't want to do it, or they don't have the time, or they're working on other things, well, then you're just flat out. You have to move on. You have to kind of put on the back burner. You have to say, all right, well, we still want it. We still want people to play these games. Obviously, it was a really big seller. It was Bloodborne at the time was a huge system seller too. It really moved PS4 units. I don't think a remastered version for the PS5 would sell PS5 units. It may. It really may, but it's not going to do it as well as, obviously, the original Bloodborne. But it could be kind of the best thing Sony has with, the cards they've been handed, right? If From Software doesn't do it, the best they can possibly do is a remaster. So, again, if that's the situation, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think, based off of what we've seen, I think it coming to PC, coming to PS5 makes a lot of sense. And, again, also, if you want to look deeper, it could actually be a sign of, okay, let's get this game back in the public eye so that maybe we can get a Bloodborne 2. So I honestly don't see why you would do a remaster of this game if you weren't actively thinking, planning, working on making a second game. So that is good news. I think a Bloodborne 2 will eventually come. As of right now, we may just have to sell for the remaster, which is fine. I honestly would give it another chance. I would probably rebuy it, try and maybe actually beat it this time, and go from there. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really excited for it. I do believe this rumor, but again, it's just a rumor. You have to take all these things with a grain of salt. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you believe this? Do you think it's coming to PS5 and PC? What do you think's going on with a Bloodborne 2? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. If anything like Bloodborne gets, if this remaster gets announced, I'll obviously be making videos of it. We'll cover it leading into it. So all that kind of stuff I got covered for you guys. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.